All right, folks. So we're making a video today about three types of coins that, as a collector, I think that price should be one of the last considerations and the quality of the coin or the coin itself should be the premium consideration. As collectors getting into the market, typically what people do is they look for good deals. So you go to a coin show, there's coins everywhere. You might find 15 or 20 or 50 examples, let's say, of an 1883 Carson City Morgan dollar on the Bourse floor. And so your approach might be, a smart approach might be, all right, well, if they typically go for, an MS-65 goes for, let's say, $400, I'm going to try to find one for $300. I'm going to try to get a good deal. I'm going to make some offers around the floor and I'm going to get a good deal. Well, I think that works in a lot of cases, depending on the type of strategy you have for collecting. But here are three scenarios where I think the price is the least important factor, and probably one of the most important factors is the coin itself. And I think you should feel happy or be excited to pay too much money for the coin. So the first type of coin that falls into this category, in my opinion, is the coin that you need for a collection. So what I have here is a $10 gold Indian eagle. This is from 1912 in San Francisco, and this has been graded MS-63 by PCGS. Now, this is also an old green holder coin. It is a highly desirable holder for the coin, but it's also a really nice coin overall. If you're a collector of $10 Indians, it's a great set to collect. There's only 26 coins that you need. You're going to find that some issues are really difficult to find, and they're really difficult to find nice. And one of those is the 1912 San Francisco. So I would say that if you found one of these coins at a show, or let's say on a dealer's website, that the price that you pay for this coin, well, of course you don't want to overpay, and you don't want to work with somebody that's going to realize you need the coin for your collection and put the screws to you and try to charge you too much or whatever. You don't want to do that. But trying to get a good deal on this coin probably would be not a great strategy, I think, because the overall idea of building a set of $10 Indians, I think, for a collector, especially one that wants to do well in their investment over a long period of time, is to build the finest collection that they can find for, for their budget. So when you have a coin that you need for your collection, don't skip, don't try to find a good price. You're probably going to end up settling for a piece that really you're going to want to upgrade later on anyways, or it's going to end up not being one of the highlights of the collection itself. So this is an example of a coin that price really is, I would say, price is always important. Let's just be honest, but price in this scenario is not as important as the quality of the coin and getting the right coin for the issue into your collection. All right, so the next type of coin that I think price is not really an important factor or shouldn't be an important factor in the decision to purchase the coin. Another way of putting this would be a coin that you should be happy to overpay for. That was kind of the provocative title I had in mind for this video, is a rare coin, a very difficult rare coin to find. And here's why I say this. It's a bit of a unique circumstance. So in the case of a very rare coin, what we have here is an 1846 Dahlonega $5 half eagle in AU55. If you do some research on this coin on the PCGS website, you'll find out that there's two varieties. There is the regular D, and then there's a D over D. And a D over D is like a repunched mint mark, basically. The D over D is actually pretty common, or of the two varieties, it's the more common of the two to find in the marketplace. It's the more common to see at auctions and so forth. The regular D is very rare, at least according to the PCGS website. And actually, if you look at how many have been graded, there's only about 30 examples in AU55 or above that have been graded from the 1846 regular D Dahlonega $5 gold piece. So this is a rare coin. Now, what does that mean about price guides and about paying more than the price guides and so on and so forth? What that means is that there hasn't been a lot of these that have come to the market. And it could be a couple years, it could be a year, 2 year, more than 2 years, where the last one of these came into the marketplace in order to find out, well, what is the kind of the market value of this coin to collectors that need this as part of their set and so forth. And price guides really are calculations. They use API to pull from various auction sites to find out if there's been any recent comparative sales for this piece or for pieces very similar to it, from the same series, of the same level of rarity, relative rarity, and so forth. And they put those numbers together and they come up with a price guide estimate for wholesale prices and retail prices and so on and so forth. If there aren't comparative listings, then the price guides really don't have anything to pull from. So it's an estimate based upon, I'm sure, the last time one of these transacted, or again, kind of what have other things sort of sold for that are kind of similar. But it's an imperfect guide is my point. So when you actually find one of these coins in the marketplace, you might be surprised that the asking price for it is considerably above price guides. That's an example where I think that for a collection, for your set, or just for an investment, because Dahlonega Gold is one of the kind of the hottest pieces of branch mint gold that's in the marketplace today. When you find a really rare example, the price guides, in my opinion, you can kind of throw them out unless there's been a really, really recent comp of a coin that looks just like it. So anyway, that's another example of something that I would say be happy to pay a little bit more for. Okay, so the final type of coin that I think the price should be less of a consideration, you should be happy to pay, maybe a little bit more for, a little strong for, would be the unique and unusual piece that you're looking for as part of your collection. So what I have to illustrate this is a 1701 to 14 two escudos, gold escudos, that was minted in Colombia under the Spanish Empire, under the King Charles II. During this time period, they made these gold cobs, as we call them today, in the various Spanish colonies, so such as Colombia. So this coin was on the 1715 fleet shipwreck. All the coins that we received of this type from Charles II that were minted in Colombia, all of them that we have today were on those ships, or on that ship. I'm not too sure if there was more than one ship or not. But anyways, as part of that shipwreck. So these are not extremely hard to find in the marketplace. You can go on eBay, you can find 1715 fleet gold cobs as well as silver coins. They're not that difficult overall, like I said, to find. So when you look at them, you start to recognize that there's different qualities that are either strong or good about the coin, and other qualities that are, let's say, not as strong, not as good about the coin. What you notice about a lot of these is that the method of manufacture was quite crude. So it's a cob. So it comes from the Spanish word cabos, which is like a bar. Basically a long cylindrical bar of gold of the particular fineness they needed. They would clip off little two escudo size pieces, and then they would hammer the design on the obverse and the reverse. So because of that, the strike on many of these coins is not centered, it's not full, it doesn't capture all of the detail in the entire design. And oftentimes, what a lot of these too, is they are really not very lustrous at all. This coin, on the other hand, has an incredible strike. The strike is really clear. Almost the entire shield is present on the obverse of the coin. In the reverse of the coin, you have this incredible, well-centered cross, as well as a lot of luster and an incredible amount of eye appeal in this coin. The only thing this coin is missing really is, frankly, the date. If there was a date in this coin, it would probably be a $10,000 coin, but it lacks that. Everything else, though, that's on it is pretty incredible. So when you are looking to try to get a piece, let's say you're building a set of escudos from the 1715 fleet, and you've looked at, I don't know, 20, 30 examples that are in the marketplace, you go to multiple shows and so on and so forth. If you find a piece that is unusual and different from the rest, and this goes for US coins as well as world coins, I would say make the investment in the coin. Getting a good deal in that case is not as important. When you go to sell the coin, other collectors are going to see the same characteristics that you have, recognize it is more of a premium example, and are going to be willing to pay a little more for it. So that's another great example where I think going around looking for a great deal on these coins is not a strong long-term strategy. I think the ones that you're going to find at great deals, there's going to be a number of detracting qualities of those coins that you may not necessarily want as part of your collection. All right, folks, there you have it. Those are three types of coins that I think where price is not as important as finding a good quality example, for your collection. Speaking of collections, if you are interested in building a collection together, please reach out to me through either the comments below or send me a DM through Instagram. You can always reach out to me on Facebook if we're Facebook friends. You can also just stop me at a coin show and mention the channel or whatever, introduce yourself if you want, and tell me a little bit about your collecting goals. I love to make new acquaintances and build new friendships and build relationships with collectors over the long term. Overall, it's about trying to build high quality collections that have a reputation for eye appeal and quality and rarity and just pristine premium examples. And that's what I'm excited about, is connecting with people that have that same mindset and are looking for a dealer or somebody they trust to work with and helping assemble that type of collection. So if that's you, please reach out to me and let's do some business together. If you haven't already, please hit the like button and subscribe in this video, and hope to bring you many more to come.